right. So the last time we met, they were talking about there's another surprise, and it's not just about another baby like they had last time. So, is suspense like privilege? Fudge asked. No, I told him. Now be quiet and listen. I looked at my father. Well, I asked, because their idea of something interesting and my idea of something interesting aren't necessarily the same. We are moving to Princeton, Dad said. We're what? I wanted to jump up, but I couldn't. Now with Tootsie on my lap. Is Princeton near the park? Fudge asked, running his little red car up and down Mom's leg. No, I said. It's in New Jersey. Is New Jersey near the park, he asked. Not Central Park, Mom said. But you don't need Central Park, Dad said, because you'll have your own backyard. What's a backyard? Fudge asked. It's like a small park, Mom told him. My own park? Fudge asked. More or less, Dad said to make him be quiet. What about art history? I said to Mom. What about it? She answered. I thought you were going to go back to school to study art history. Princeton University has an art history department. I may take classes there. It's just for a year, Dad said, looking at me, to see how we like being away from the city. Away, 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 Fudge sang. You can't have a conversation in front of him. It's useless. Couldn't my mother and father see that? We're going next week, Dad said. What about Maine? I asked. We always go to Maine for 2 weeks in the summer. M-A-N-E spells Maine, Fudge sang. M-A-N-E. How does he know how to spell Maine? Mom asked Dad. I've no idea, Dad said. So what about it? I pressed. Are we going to Maine? We're going to Princeton instead, Dad told me. Instead. Fudge babbled. Be quiet, I yelled at him. And then I said just as loud, I hate Princeton. You've never been there, Mom said. Oh, yes, I have. We went to visit some dumb friend of yours, and they served us this disgusting dinner, shrimp and mushrooms and spinach, all mixed together. And I was hungry, but they wouldn't give me anything else to eat, not even an extra piece of bread. I remember. Oh, yeah, that's right, Mom said. I'd forgotten all about the day at Millie and George's house. You forget everything that's important. Look, Peter, Dad said, we're hoping you'd be pleased about Princeton. We've already rented a house there. In fact, we've rented Millie and George's house. They're going to Europe for the year. That old dump? It's not a dump. It's a beautiful old place. And we've arranged to sublet our apartment. So I'd like you to keep an open mind about this. Open, 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 Fudge sang. You should have told me before. Just like you should have told me that Tootsie as soon as you knew. You never tell me anything. And here, I said, showing Tootsie to Dad, why don't you hold your own baby yourself? Because I have things to do. I got up and marched across the living room, kicking a couple of Fudge's cars as I left. By the time I got to my room, he was crying. Good, I thought. And then Tootsie started. Better yet. And then the turtle began to bark. Let them suffer. I slammed my door and my map wound up on my bed again. I guess I fell asleep in my clothes because next thing I knew, Mom was shaking me and saying, come on, Peter. Get undressed and under the covers. It's late. Too hot for covers, I mumbled. Okay, if you want to sleep in your clothes tonight, you can. But at least take off your sneakers. Like them where they are, I said sleepily. Okay, if you want to sleep in your sneakers, just for tonight. Maybe every night. Mom ignored that. Peter, about Princeton. I held up my hand. Don't want to talk about it. You don't have to talk, just listen. Too tired to listen. All right, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Anyway, nothing I can do about it, just like Tootsie. Nothing I could do about her either. But you don't mind her now, do you? Getting used to her. And you'll get used to Princeton too. You'll see. Then she started telling me about where I'd go to school, but I was still half asleep and not really listening until she said something like, having your little brother in the same school. And I sat up wide awake. What did you say? About what? Just now. About Fudge in school. Oh, we've had him tested. And even though he's a little young, we're going to be able to enroll him in kindergarten. After all, he's had a full year of nursery school, and he can count by tens and recite the alphabet, and he knows his months and days of the week and colors, and he can spell Maine. Yeah, I said, we all know the kid's a genius. But you said something else. About him going to the same school as me? That's right. You'll be in 6th grade, and he'll be in kindergarten. Won't that be fun? Fun? That did it. I jumped off the bed and grabbed my Adidas bag. You think it's fun to go to a new school? I don't even know anybody there. And I definitely don't want to go to school with a little monster. You don't understand anything, do you? I opened my dresser drawers and dumped my clothes into the bag. This time, I'm really leaving. Peter, honey, Mom said, you can't run away every time you hear something you think you don't like. I don't think it, I know it. Even so, running away doesn't solve anything. Maybe not for you, but it does for me. I tossed in my baseball glove, my favorite jeans, half of my Mad magazines, and a few of my smaller maps and a couple of tapes. Shall I make you a peanut butter sandwich to take along? Mom asked, smiling. Don't give me any of that little boy stuff, I said to her, because I mean it. I'm leaving. She stopped smiling. I can understand how you feel, but Daddy and I thought, Daddy and you don't think the same way as me. I'm beginning to see that. And if you cared about me at all, even just a little bit, you wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't have. Peter, we care about you a lot. That's one of the reasons we're moving to Princeton. And we didn't even get to tell you the really big news. Oh, there's more, I said. Well, I can't wait to hear it. Daddy is taking the year off. I stopped packing. He quit his job at the agency? No. He's been fired? No. Then what? He's taking a leave of absence. Wait, he wants to tell you himself. She went to the door and called, Warren, can you come in here? I'm changing Tootsie. Dad called back. Be there in just a minute. I thought Dad never changed a diaper in his life. He didn't. Not until Tootsie came around. What's so special about changing her diapers, I asked. Nothing. It's just that Dad realizes he missed out on some of your baby experiences and he doesn't want to make the same mistake again. He's so busy changing Tootsie, he hasn't gotten time for anybody else. Peter, that's not fair, Mom said. What do you know about fair? Dad came into my room smelling like baby lotion. I told Peter you have a surprise for him, Mom said. I'm taking the year off, Dad said. And that way I'll have more time to spend with the family because I'll be working at home. I'm going to write a book. A book, I said? That's right. On the history of advertising and its effect on the American people. Couldn't you write something more interesting, I said, like a book about a kid who runs away because his parents decide to move without asking him first? Sounds like a good story, Dad said. Maybe you should write it yourself. Maybe I will, I said. And I'd like to know how we're going to eat with you not working. We've got plenty of money saved, and I'll probably get an advance for writing the book. Give it a chance, Peter, Mom said. I'll think about it, I told her. But if I'm gone in the morning, don't be surprised. And then from the other room, we would hear Fudge singing himself to sleep. M-A-N-E spells Maine. F-U-D-G-E spells Fudgy. P-E-T-E-R spells Pita. Will you listen to that, I said? The kid should be a big hit.